This is going to be a real podcast. I may smoke cigarettes on this podcast, Mass.
Go ahead, do it.
How about that? How about
Yeah,
that?
why not? We're drinking.
You know what? Listen, the Cancer Association is wrong. Billy Bob, I mean, if you watch Landman, Billy Bob Thornton said it. Do you watch Landman?
No.
Okay. There's a scene where Billy Bob comes down into his kitchen and his lawyer, who he shares a house with, is eating like Pop-Tarts or Cocoa Puffs, all that shit. And Billy Bob goes, you know what? That's just going to kill you. He goes, yeah, says the 2-pack-a-day smoker. Billy Bob says, you ever been to China? They got 90-year-old men smoking on filterless Pall Malls. He goes, Italy. People smoke till they're 90 years old. Want to hear something funny? Lung cancer isn't even the top 10 of their causes of death. All right? He's like, cigarettes don't kill you. It's all that processed shit and refined sugar and all that kills you. Think about that. He said about Italy, he goes, think about Italy. All they do is smoke cigarettes, eat pasta, drink wine, and fuck. He said that in China and Japan, he goes, you know, you got 90-year-old men smoking Pall Malls. They're in the park doing Tai Chi at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, they are.
It's because they're not eating the processed shit that we eat, Mass.
Wait, is this a current show?
The Landman's on Paramount. It's phenomenal. You'll love it.
It's an active show. It's on
It's
right
an
now.
active show. Well, the season's over. So do you watch any Tyler Sheridan shows like Yellowstone or?
I just got Peacock. I did the pilot of Yellowstone. I'm halfway through. I fell asleep. I know it's like the Montana version of The Sopranos. I have to get started, but no, not yet.
So we talk about this all the time, right? With television shows that we like.
Yeah.
You know, we all agree I love The Sopranos. Sopranos and The Wire are 1 and 1A, right?
Yes.
They have to be. I mean, I don't think you can say you can't say one is better. You really can't.
They're two completely different things.
They are, but they're both riveting.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt.
There's 3 shows in my life that I couldn't wait to see every week, and I couldn't miss them. Sopranos, The Wire, and Lost.
Well, Game of Thrones isn't up there?
Well, no, because that was a time where you could DVR.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and that's the whole difference. Like, The Wire came out at a time where if you didn't see it on Sunday night, and you're going to remember this. Remember back in the day when Comcast just came out with the digital cable? And you could go to On Demand and look up series, right?
Yeah.
And Sopranos would be there. But it would only be 4 episodes.
Yeah.
For like 2 months.
Yep.
And then you'd always keep looking, and you get so excited when it would be
and then the next 4 would kick over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
it would go 1 to 4, and you'd be like, oh my God, it says 5 to 8. And you would get so excited.
Yeah. No, I remember going to Poop's house, well, his dad's Norm's house on Sunday nights to watch The Sopranos, like season 4, season 5.
See, I remember going to Norm's house at like 18, 19 years old to watch college football on Sundays and fucking gamble and try to figure out how I'm going to pay the bookie on
He had
Friday.
the ticket or whatever, right? The Sunday ticket.
He did. So it used to be me, him, and Ritchie. I think you would be there sometimes. But dude, we were 18, 19 years old, had no money, and we'd be betting friggin', let me get a $200 reverse. Like, so if you lose, you owe $440.
Yeah.
And then
you don't have any of it.
No, you don't have any of it. So now it's 4:00 and you're like, oh, let me get $1,000 teaser, trying to win more money. Next thing you know, you're down $1,600 going, all right, let me call the guy now so I'm not an asshole or a punk and go, hey, listen, I have to set up a payment plan with you.
We're going to be jammed up for a minute. Yeah. No, I would show up after Sunday dinner as that was winding down, and but I remember we would switch back and forth between Sopranos and whatever the night games were. You know what I mean?
No, and Sopranos were such an influential part of pop culture, right? Like, you think about it today, like, you still have commercials. You have
it's all over
Jamie Lynn
media.
Sigler and Robert Eiler, right? Is that his name? Robert Eiler? Yeah. And Robert Eiler have a very successful podcast.
How about, I didn't watch a lot of it, but Talking Sopranos was a great concept. Michael Imperioli
with David Chase?
Yeah, no. You're thinking about Wise Guys. That was a documentary that came out recently. I'm talking about the Talking Sopranos podcast with Michael Imperioli and Steve Sciarippa.
Oh, no, that was great.
Where they step through every episode. I didn't watch a lot of that, but it was a great idea. And it was a great way to breathe life back into it for another 80, 86 hours. You know what I mean? So what about Mobland? Uncle Dave said Mobland is great.
Mobland is incredible.
I haven't started
So
it yet.
It's all English.
But hold on. How can, as a man in that role, how can your wife run the family?
So that's not
hold your head up.
So Uncle Dave is leading you in the wrong direction. Yes, she's a matriarch.
He doesn't
right?
check in with her for every
So,
decision.
no, I don't know that that's the case. In my opinion, that's not the case. She kind of inserts herself, and he does push back. He does say, listen, I'm the fucking Harrigan, because that's the name of the family, the Harrigans.
Okay.
Right? He'll say, I'm Conrad Harrigan. I make the decisions. Yes, she does have some influence, but I don't know that that character, who's Helen Mirren, by the way, who is
Good.
like 80 years old, who is one of the greatest actresses of our time. And Mass, I'm not ashamed to say it. At 80 years old, she still looks friggin' hot.
Yeah, God bless her.
Mass, she wore leather pants in the first episode.
That's awesome.
80 years old wearing leather pants.
Yeah, Uncle Dave was telling me
What
about,
did your 80-year-old grandmother look like? Was she wearing leather pants?
No,
Was she strutting around?
no. Levi's and a slightly oversized sweatshirt. That's what my grandmother rocks most of the time. She's still kicking at 90 something, 95, 6, 7.
No, but
I don't know.
Mobland, I think, is going to be the next big show. Anything Taylor Sheridan. Oh, this isn't Taylor Sheridan. This is actually Guy Ritchie from
There you go.
Snatch.
That's a whole different. Yeah.
Because I mean, Snatch was one of the
Rock and
biggest.
Roller. All of his movies were great. Yeah.
But think about it. Our teenage years. Remember when Snatch came out? I think we quoted it for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like we would watch it over and over.
Guy Ritchie movies were great.
They were Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Two Smoking Barrels, all of them. Didn't he just have a? He partnered with somebody on a series on Netflix that just dropped recently. No,
he may have. I'm not completely sure about that.
Yeah.
All I know is this Mobland, the way it's filmed, the writing.
I don't know if Pierce Brosnan can pull off a mobster though. I'm gonna have to watch it and get back. So
again, he's an English mobster.
Yeah, I know.
So, and that's the one thing. So I watch. Do you watch Gangs of London?
No, I watched the pilot when he lit the cat on fire and dropped him off the roof and all.
Is that not one of the greatest first scenes in series history? It's close to Breaking Bad, Mass.
Yes.
When I put on Breaking
when he runs
Bad,
out with the tidy whities, yeah.
The first 2 minutes you're sitting there and you're sitting in your chair watching, and you're like, "There's desert. What the hell is this?" Yeah. You're sitting there and you're like, "All right, here's this guy on the roof of a non-finished high rise."
I agree with you that that was a great opening scene, and it was dope to see
Let me get the Wreck Life T-shirt up.
Him really do that, but that didn't keep me interested. I never came back after the pilot.
So do you have issues with the language? Because I know a lot of people. Yeah. I'll give you 2 examples. I have a friend of mine who won't watch Peaky Blinders, can't watch anything. He has a problem with the dialect.
Yeah.
I understand what he says.
Yeah.
I also think, listen, I'm 5 generations removed from the real Irish ancestry, right? But I wonder if part of it has to do with being Irish. And yes, if my kids walk in the room or like my wife wants to talk to me about something, excuse me, I have to turn it off and I have to be like, listen, I'm really sorry. I just have to listen to this because I have a hard time not understanding what they're saying as it is.
Yeah.
But if I really listen, I understand what's going on.
Yeah, no, that's a little bit of it. But I do agree. If you're part of the same culture as the characters on screen, you're more prone to be interested for sure, right? Like Jewish people are watching Steven Spielberg, Italians are watching Martin Scorsese, like for sure. That's a thing.